I'm here now at Sephora here at the Naperville para mag lesson for Conceal and Correct.
Okay, you're fine. So your match will be custard, so I'll grab that for you, okay?
Okay, thanks. So I attended this beauty class by Sephora, which is free for VIB Rouge. This is an hour of a class, which is a Correct and Conceal class. So I grabbed this for free. This is not, the one I'm holding is not for free, okay? So these are just like samples on how to use those items, like this NARS concealer, this black tea eye cream by Fresh, their Cover FX translucent powder or setting powder, also this Cover FX pressed powder in medium, Origins ginseng eye cream, Laura Mercier translucent powder, Smashbox, and Sephora. So these are the options. So they put it in our table for us to see the different kinds of, items that we need to use for correctly concealing and correctly hiding every dark spots or dark areas in our face.
We're gonna do the Conceal and Correct class. So we're gonna walk through a little bit. We'll do a demo on our lovely model Maddie. Break, let you guys apply, and then we're gonna go to the second half, which will be the concealing part.
I would say my concern too is definitely the eye cream, and then
Thank you.
a little bit. I like a little bit thinner on the layer for a color corrector.
For under
So
eye.
I just think it works a little bit better.
My name is Maddie. I'm one of the beauty studio coordinators, also an artist here. I've been here for about 1.5 years now. My major skin concern with color correcting is redness. So I had a lot of blemishes last year, which I'm finally getting over, and redness in my T-zone. So, well, I have this on, which we're going to be going over today. This completely cancels out facial redness.
There, a little bit of vitamin C. Okay, let's talk about amount of product too for the eye cream. Generally, you want to use grain of rice for both sides. Anybody know how we want to apply an eye cream? What finger?
Ring finger?
Yes. Why do we use a ring finger? Lightest touch. Yes.
Yep.
So your ring finger actually has the lightest touch. I know. I was like, oh, I don't want to touch her face. My circulation is terrible, I'm always cold. So you can see I'm using just like a little patting motion, which is also going to help kind of depuff if you have any puffiness. And my popsicle fingers also help. They're cold. I know they're cold. You colors so that way they cancel each other out on the skin. So you're going to look a little crazy at first, but it'll balance out once you get a concealer on. Because you do want to kind of cancel it out.
So we're doing complementary colors. So if we go over the complementary colors in the color wheel, it's red and green because they're opposite on the color wheel. So opposites neutralize each other. So if you have redness, green would color correct that to just neutralize the skin. So complementary colors neutralize.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So for Maddie, we're going to use, she's a little more on the medium to fair side, I'd say, for skin tone. So for her under eye circles, they're not super dark as you can see. So she doesn't need a heavy, really, really deep peach. She doesn't need that deep orange. That's going to be more for your really deep blue discoloration. So we're going to use a light peach. The light peach would be a little more complementary for her skin tone. Now, my natural skin tone, I'm really, really, really... Kind of see how much I'm taking. It's literally a smidge of it. So we don't want to do a lot of this.
We don't have it on the table, right?
We don't have this one, but I can always pass it off after we apply on Maddie.
Okay.
Oh, correct, that's right.
So
I have
I put a smidge on. I'm going to take a little brush here. You'll have this on your table. It's number 45. It's a Precision Concealer Brush from Sephora. I'm going to take just a tapping of this. And also, we only want to apply the color corrector right where we have discoloration. You don't want it everywhere because you don't want to just have red or green splashes on the face. You want to make sure you apply it where we have that problem area. So we can see, on Maddie, it's really just right there. She doesn't have a large discoloration underneath the eye, so I don't want to place it everywhere because it's going to look a little off. So I'm just going to use a little bit of patting motion. And I'm sorry if I'm blocking you.
Should I use this?
Does have green in it. So it's gonna look a little crazy when I pull it out. This is on the glass leg. It's a very well loved Dr. Jart Chick Hair treatment. So you can kind of see, it's like neon green, okay?
And this is the product I use every day to help with my redness, so I do have some on already. But literally, I started using it around Christmas time, and it treated most of my redness. Like, I'm not as red as I used to be. So it does long-term benefits as well.
Yes, so we're using on move. A lot of times we do a little bit of a color correction. If you don't actually place the product and you start mixing things up, you're gonna mix that color correction. So where we directly place that product, you wanna make sure you leave it where you placed it. I don't wanna pull my color correction from under my eyes down to my cheeks because hands.
So that's the color correction you use.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like my moisturizer that I use every day.
So you can see I'm kind of warming it up on my fingers.
And usually that does, oh, you can. Usually that does enough for me where I don't need an actual like color corrector.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to use just like that patting motion. I'm going to start in the center of her face. And I'm really going to place it kind of where we have a little bit of extra redness. So generally we're going to go chin, around the nose, sometimes across the forehead. It just depends on where your problematic areas are. Most people get a little red around the nose, so that's where I'm going to kind of concentrate it for Maddie.
Are we
So-
concealing it in there or just correct?
We are going to conceal into the eye for you too.
Oh, okay.
But you want to set it between so they don't
Really?
mix. Yeah, see?
I did not know that.
There you go. Lesson of the day. You want to conceal, or you want to powder your corrector so it doesn't mix. That's your barrier so that you don't end up with a crazy green face.
Interesting.
Learn something new every day. So I'm just hitting a little of this powder. Now I do want to tap off the excess. Don't blow because you're going to get germs on there. We want to try to keep everything as clean as you can. So ideally you want to do a little tap and you can see the powder kind of like poof, poof. That's how you know it's ready. Poof, poof, poof. It's perfect. Okay, and I'm not gonna just like buff this in because that's also gonna move around the product you just placed. I'm gonna use that patting motion again. You can also use a rolling motion. So I love to roll my powder. I am an alligator. If I over apply, yeah, you tend to look like you just put 12 pounds on and it looks real heavy. But if you do a press and roll, you're getting that perfect amount of powder without a heavy look. So I'm just gonna do that to Maddie. Press, roll, press, roll, press, roll. All the way up. Yeah, and then just do your double tap.
Nope.
There you go. See how much powder came off that? That's how much you were gonna put on your face.
Oh my god. So then just under eye or just all over?
Just like under eye, because like the Chick Hair is a moisturizer, so you don't necessarily need to set that one.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna go into putting a little concealer on Maddie.
Am I doing it
now-
correctly?
Yeah, it has to work
perfect.
today, so eventually she's gonna want to put on a foundation or a BB, whatever she prefers. But if she wasn't, she definitely didn't have to. I don't think her face looks super crazy or discolored. Fire, please.
We like never had that on our shelf
You guys
either.
are
That
so
thing was
good.
always gone.
I know, people always buy
A
it
little
all
bit.
the time.
Corrective treatment. That's awesome.
Do you have any questions? Feeling comfortable with the concealer?
Ayan, natapos na yung class ko sa Sephora. So now I'm using the Huda lipstick Trophy Wife. Ito siya.